Hey, there's the man Trevor Hendy, the Surfers Paradise superstar that is in this next to the semi-finals. We'll go through the field for you. Guy Leach from Kurrawa, John Robinson from the same club, Graham Bruce, who came to Ironman racing from the triathlon sport. He's wearing the North Narrabeen colours of white. Andrew Mickle from the Sunshine Coast. Now, Jason Mewett we saw in an under-18 semi-final a little earlier, so he's doubling up. Greg Mickle, Scott Mortimer, Darren Mercer, he's out to get revenge for his brother. Hayden Reese from Southcourt, Craig Riddington, the man that's always been the bridesmaid, but he's been in red-hot form this week. Brett Tyack, John Cook, Brendan Horan, he's from New Zealand, their New Zealand champion. Jay Gilbert, also an under-18 junior who has competed here in the junior championships, and Trevor Hendy, the man to beat. Lining up now the caps of Surfers Paradise, the blue caps with the gold stripe, Guy Leach and John Robinson in the very distinctive yellow cap with the blue and white stripe on it. Very hot competitors here. Leach would dearly love to win a short course championship. There's Riddington in the pale blue colours of Manly. Setting up now for the Nutrigrain Open Ironman second semi-final in the water. Look at Hendy, strides out. He's on the right-hand side of your screen, big, tall, lanky fellow. He's not the best of swimmers. He's the best board paddler by far. But this field is red hot. Leach now porpoising into the deep water. Darren Mercer right in behind him with a white cap with a blue stripe on it. He's trailing Leach. Leach and Riddington by far probably the most superior swimmers in the field.
Well, yes, you see the Kurrawa cap now starting to move out. Leach is a very, very good swimmer. Darren Mercer standing right behind him there. He's going to trail, and I'd say he's going to keep just coming along. He'll be happy to keep tapping Guy Leach on the feet to let him know he's there.
Craig Riddington has got to get the lead here. He's the reigning Australian surf race champion. He's got Guy Leach also to keep him very honest. Guy Leach also a very, very good swimmer. They've got to try and he's got to get away early in the swim.
You can see them going to the wave area now. They're off that sandbank and into the deeper water. The best way to tell that, better to tell on the darker colour of the water. You can see the waves powering through there. And Guy Leach now trailing back as he slips in behind.
It looks like the Sunshine Beach competitor of Andrew Mickle over there. Leach just coming along in the yellow cap. Look, he's swimming with his head out of the water. He's not doing it too hard. And neither is Darren Mercer at this stage, who's just behind Leach.
Now, Andrew Mickle, what he'll be trying to do is line himself up. But the reason he's looking up is to look for the white can. They've got to turn 7 cans. They're 120 metres out to sea. Turn those cans and back in for another 120 metres.
So it's Minkle from the Sunshine Beach Club in the red colours of his cap. He's trailed here by Guy Leach, the swimming superstar of Ironman racing, undoubtedly the long-distance king, but has never ever won a short course championship, and he'd dearly love to win one. Remember, this is a qualifier, but as we saw in the last heat, when Grant Kenny was so far behind, winning on the ski leg, anything can happen. So you can't get too cocky and too confident and drop away.
The man that's got to try and be up there at this stage, it is certainly his weakest leg, is Trevor Hendy. And if Trevor is within cooey of these leaders, he will leave them for dead on the board. Craig Riddington making his big move now.
Right, well, Craig Riddington in the sky blue cap of Manly, moving up into second position. He's not only the current Australian surf race champion, he's the current World Surf Race Championship title holder. And Riddington desperately wants to win an Ironman, has never been able to do it.
Mercer is back in the pack, and Hendy, you can see that sky blue cap with a yellow star on top of it, is making some headway, but he's getting a few ankles in the face as he goes around the can. You'll pick him up. There he goes. No, that's the other competitor from Kurrawa, John Robinson, as he goes around. There's Hendy there now. Hendy struggling back, well back in the pack. So he's behaving for a wave, but watch him on the board. We'll set him up now on the board because he'll be hard to beat. Now they're heading back into the drop zone. Still a little way to go yet, but there is a wave building.
Now Andrew Mickle from Sunshine Beach is just about to be overtaken by Craig Riddington, swimming in the sky blue cap there. Now a bit of a swell there. Riddington lifted his rating just a little bit. Having a look round to see where the big guns are coming. He's looking for Hendy and Mercer.
What Riddle will be doing is he'll be looking under his arm and just looking for those waves. Now, of course, one of the great mysteries of the surf is who's going to catch the waves. Rideau can be 50 metres in front, and suddenly the whole pack can come through from behind. Trevor Hendy right now needs a wave.
And there's nothing inside at the moment, only some little lifts. So Rideau may have to do the swim, and maybe some of the back markers, including Hendy, could get a lift with a little tiny wave that's starting to build behind the pack. but it's Reddington now. He's swimming into that hole. He'll get onto the bank, and then he'll have to wade. Little wave coming through, and they should get on this. There's 3 or 4 swimming for it, but Reddington will get it. Meikle is on it. So the 2 leaders are both surfing. Engulfed in the white water there, the red cap of Meikle. Look at Reddington. He's a magnificent surfer, Reddington. Both doing a great job, milking it as far as they can. Now it starts to suck off, and they're off. Now they'll have to swim about another 2 or 3 metres. They're porpoising the weight to get onto the bank.
The rest of the field has come from behind too, and no doubt if Trevor Hendy is up there, he'd be a very happy man. The field now emerging from the right, that is Dean Mercer.
Well, there we go. We talk about surf, and Dean Mercer has come. Darren Mercer has come straight through. Look at that. And also another competitor making a big break.
Hayden Reese from Northcliffe. Now, Hayden Reese, an ex-Southport man, changed over to Northcliffe, and he is a magnificent competitor. Mercer just running up there now.
Hayden, an absolute bolter, a brilliant board paddler. He would be as good as Trevor Hendy on the board. The big question is, will he cope with a strong board leg after the swim leg?
Well, what a turnaround, and this is what makes the Surf Lifesaving Championship so strong. Darren Mercer going on the board, chasing Hayden Reese from Northcliffe. That's Reese there. As Marcus said, he's a very, very good paddler. In come the other competitors now, but the battle is on. Reddington on the greeny-coloured board has dropped way back now. He led that swim leg, but once again the surf has determined it. Now, can Hayden Reese clear the break quick enough to capitalise on the break? There's a shot now as the whole backpack come in chasing.
Well, Hayden Reese is a magnificent board paddler, and right alongside him is Darren Mercer, the Nutrigrain Ironman king. Look, Mercer turns his board over, and he's back on pretty quickly. Probably should have pushed over that one without going underneath. Here's another good wave, and they're all turned over this time, but it's still Hayden Reese first back up onto the board, and Darren Mercer in second place, Reddington from Manly in third.
What we may see is that exactly what happened to Grant Kenny before in the ski leg in the previous semi. Trevor Hendy would have been hit by those waves as well, but of course the leaders at the front were getting hit and they were stopping, and whilst they're stopping, Trevor's power on the board would come to the fore.
Yeah, we should say the waves aren't all that big, but they're hitting a very shallow bank here at low tide, so when they do hit, they hit with a lot of power.
Yes, there's enough power there to push a board around or to tip a ski over, particularly if a competitor is halfway through a stroke or he's just put his blade in. But look at Trevor Hendy now. Hendy from Surfers Paradise has shown him what surfboard paddling is all about as he starts to make his way through the field.
Now, the board that Trevor's paddling, he actually designed himself. It's made by a fellow club member, David Orchard, and Trevor is absolutely flying, but not only is he moving, he knows he has to.
Look at Hendy now as he gets that massive frame to work. In go the arms. Hayden Reese goes round the cans. But look at Hendy, the man everybody has stated as favourite for this championship. Just getting those big arms to dig. He has a little look behind him. Reddington's put in a good paddle too. He's on his belly, giving the legs a rest because they get very, very tired, cutting off the circulation. Reese will go round first. There's Hendy. There's Darren Mercer, and there's the big pack now as they chase up, and also Guy Leach is there as well.
Well, now Jason Mewett coming in third. He's just moving up now into almost equal second there with Trevor Hendy. He just qualified in the junior final, and he's backing up for a double.
Trevor Hendy, I would say, will come out in front of this leg after the board. He and Hayden are certainly the best 2 board paddlers, but you can see runs there for Jason Mewett and also for Craig Reddington. They will run with these boards as hard as they can.
Wave building now, and they'll all get onto this too. There it is. Look at this. You'll get some coming in from behind as they paddle, though. The back markers have dropped off it. Reddington paddling very hard. He's on. Oh, they're all on. 3 on again. A magnificence. Now, also, there's a wave behind for everybody else, so they can't make a mistake.
Well, we've got Hayden Reese in the middle, Craig Reddington on the left, and Trevor Hendy on the right-hand side. Now, there's some big guns of Ironman, and on the wave behind, 5 more competitors. Gives a total of 8. Only 7 are going to qualify after the next leg.
What will happen from here is it will be an absolute sprint to get to the ski, and they will probably, what will happen is these 3 fellows will turn over their right shoulder as they turn the first leg. Trevor has to fly.
Okay, Hendy now gets the big legs to pump along the sand. Reese is there. Reddington is there. They're the big 3 at the moment. They have a little look at the field behind them. Now they're sucking up the air. The lungs are starting to hurt. They've got the ski leg to go. Hendy will get on. He's a fair paddler too, Hendy. The familiar colours of his club there, the green, the yellow, the blue, the Surfers Paradise cap. As he starts to stride out with the ski. He has got a bit of a break in the surf too, but there are some sets building.
Yes, I think there's going to be some big waves build up out the back, and this is where Hendy could be forced back. But the man possesses extraordinary strength. There's Darren Mercer on the left-hand side, the white cap with the blue stripe from the Thuril Club. Hendy slowing down a little as he sees, oh, into that one there. That's pushed him back, and all of a sudden Reddington's joined him, and so has Hayden Reese. Hendy pushed right back into third place.
First to the waves is first to get hit, and you can see that Craig Reddington, Hayden Reese is nearly off. That's great surfing by Hayden. What's happening is that the back markers are now picking them all up.
Well, there you go. That's what it's all about in the surf. Reddington actually came in from third spot, got the run through. You can see Reese really got sucked down backwards on that wave. He lost a lot of ground. But now it's Craig Reddington from Manly, the man they've called the perennial bridesmaid. He's out in front in this semi-final, looking pretty good at the moment. He's a fair paddler too, and he'll take a bit of getting back from there. But we've seen before, waves can make all the difference.
Yes, well, Reddington, the Australian surf champion, son of a former Australian surf champion, Max Reddington, going very, very well. And now they're stroking very, very hard as they move out. The swell evening on out the back, and they won't be too long before they come up to the turning cans. From then on, the race to the finish for the top 7 is all important. If you don't make the top 7, we'll see you next year.
And around the first turning can, they've got 3 cans to turn. They're 300 metres out to sea, 300 metres back. And what they'll be doing now is just settling into it. They certainly will not be slowing up. This will be absolutely full war because they know that anyone can come from behind. That's the first turning can they're around now. That's Guy Leach. Guy Leach, who's come from nowhere.
Guy Leach, always the competitor. They call him the animal. He builds up. That's a wave breaking on the Bombora way up the back. It's compressed on the lens. There's Hendy now coming into picture. So it's Guy Leach, it's Hendy, it's Reddington. And that wave you can see on the Bombora will come through with them. Look at this. 2 former club mates paddling stroke for stroke. They're in opposition clubs at the moment. They're great mates on the land, but they hate each other in the water. It's now Guy Leach. He has a little look for the wave. He knows it's coming. He saw it on the bomby. Craig Reddington now goes past the first set of boys, and here's the wave building up now. These skis absolutely fly down the face of these. Reddington gets a run. They wait. There's a big wave building. Reddington can see it. He looks around. Now it's Guy Leach decides to wait too. They're holding back. There's the wave they're waiting for. Hendy's there too, so they'll all get on. Hendy's running on. Reddington's paddling on. Guy Leach now goes down the face of it, so it's Hendy in the middle, Leach on the right-hand side, Reddington in the blue cap as they scream down the face of the wave now. This will be a sprint up the beach, and these boys are all pretty fast on their legs, but they'll get onto dry sand very shortly. The skis coming across the bank. Guy Leach now paddling out in front. He'll get off first and start the run. Up he goes, Guy Leach, Reddington following him. Hendy won't be far behind. He'll be like a drover's dog, snapping at their heels. But Guy Leach again has mastered the surf better than the other competitors, and he goes on to win from Craig Reddington. Former teammates, there's Trevor Hendy. He's in third, looking behind him to see who's got through.
Well, as Hendy runs along the beach there, Rideau must be wondering if he's going to be a bridesmaid again. Another second place finish. A big smile on Trevor Hendy. He said, this'll do me. Now here comes another Surfers Paradise competitor. That's Muir from Maroochydore, then Hayden Reese, and then it looks like John Robinson from Kurrawa. Where's Mercer? Mercer's on the right-hand side. He's sprinting hard. He's going to finish probably in about 7th place, and Darren Mercer may just qualify. We'll have a look.
And 2 juniors have qualified. I'm looking at unofficially, but looks as though Jay Gilbert has come in 4th, and the young fellow from Maroochydore, Jason Muir, has also come in as well. Qualify senior and juniors.
Well, that's a great display from the juniors because they competed in their semi-final just a few moments ago. Guy Leach there shaking the hand of Trevor Hendy. Reddington, all big smiles. Darren Mercer, we believe, has just snuck in. We'll wait for confirmation on that. Dean Mercer, of course, is off. Let's recap the finish of that. What a great paddle it was from Guy Leach. It just shows you, you see, you could be 4 or 5 lengths behind on that sandbank. If you get hit by a wave, it doesn't take long for the rest to come through. As Leach got off, those big long legs start to stride out. Reddington knows he's safely inside, so he's happy. But apparently there's been lots and lots of protests out of the first semi-final. We'll come back to that in a minute. But Guy Leach there winning the second one. There's Trevor Hendy. He had a smile on his face, but he came across the line. So Mark Warren, you're on the beach with a winner.
Guy, congratulations. Now, the rival circuit events have been more endurance events. Did you expect to do so well here in Wollongong?
I'm hoping for a good result. I knew I had to qualify in the top 7, and you're lucky I won. It is a lot lot of luck out there, and at one stage I was in about 5th spot, but just sort of roll with the punches, and hopefully I'll put in a good performance tomorrow.
Now, if you can win this Ironman title tomorrow, the final, what would that be worth to you in cold, hard cash?
I don't know, mate, but I'll tell you what, it'll make me feel a lot better, because obviously everyone thinks I'm good at endurance, and I've sort of hardly ever been beaten in that, but over the short course there's a lot of doubt, and if I can prove myself in that short course area, it'll make me feel a lot better anyway.
All right, Guy, congratulations.
Thanks,
Now it's
mate.
back to Darryl Eastlake.
Thank you, Mark. Well, a great win from Guy Leach. By geez, always there, a fierce competitor. Well, Ken, we've seen two great semi-finals, and there's the big high five from two great